Hey man, we're live. Let's see if anyone pops in tonight. First time experimenting with live chat. Let's see how it goes. I have plenty of patience and I have about an hour to kill. So hey, it's Saturday night. Why not, man? I have no idea who's going to pop in. We'll see if anyone does. I gave no forewarning because I've never done this. So anyone seeing this recorded later, yeah, I'm just learning as I go, man. Saturday night. Hanging out with Jet Dog here. Where is she? Yeah, she's looking out the window. Someone's in the house tonight. Who is it? I see somebody just popped in, but I can't see the name. Oh, Adrian. Hey, how's it going? Hey, how you doing, man? Where are you from? Is this Adrian in Medford or no? Dallas in the house. Nice, man. I was just talking to my friend Gene Perfect. He's in Dallas. Actually, he's in Irving, I think. Irving, Texas. Random Gigi fan. Well, that's cool. I'm a random Gigi fan too. I randomly ran across his record in '83 and said, "Who the fuck is this guy?" And I wrote him a letter and we started writing. I still remember his address, P.O. Box 54, Hooksett, New Hampshire. What up, man? Now there's three people in the house. Slow H, what's going on, man? I'm just chilling out Saturday night. Never gone live before. I'm here to get to know everybody. Three people in the house. Hey, that's three more. I'm not talking to myself now. Hey, four. There's four in the house. Hee hee. What do you rock and roll? Sister Tracy's in the background saying rock and roll. That's what we're doing, right? I was gonna put music on, but I thought, man, I might violate copyright privacy or copyright infringement rules or something. So no music right now until I can, I guess, play my own music, I guess. So Slow H is in the house. Adrian, who are the other people? Richard, what's up, man? Yo, dude. AMZ, happy Saturday night to you. Thanks for being here. Just it's a get to know you kind of thing, you know what I mean? It's a rock and roll community. There's this little arrow on my screen. I wonder if I can switch this and actually have this look different. Let me see. Oh, wow, that's weird looking. Try back this. Oh, you don't want to see that, do you? Never mind. Five people in the house. Biker punks from hell. And you could say we smell. We're biker punks from hell. Filthy biker punk. Yeah, what up, Adrian? Robert Omelette. Yeah, I did know Robert Omelette. Robert Omelette from Angel Trumpet Records. Robert Omelette released some tapes of mine back in like '85. I was singing for this metal band called Emerald, and he put out our live cassette tape on his label. And also, he turned me on to the Naughty Women and a bunch of really awesome, like the Castration Squad and some great punk stuff. Yep, I wrote Robert Omelette for a long time, man, and he did the artwork for my band Unaccepted back in '84 and he did the artwork for Emerald. Yeah, rest in peace to Robert Omelette. The famous venue, I don't know, man. I played at the Trilighter Tavern, but I got we got busted for flag burning, man. Woo! That was back in the '80s, though. I'm getting ready to play in Davenport, Iowa, March 14th at the Raccoon Motel. However, I've gigged in Iowa many times. Davenport, Moline, Galesburg, all those areas, all over Iowa, different parts. I don't really remember a lot of the venues, but I do remember the Trilighter Tavern because we got booked for 2 nights in a row and then we got banned. Yeah, I saw that. I saw that there's a gig coming up with Naughty Women and a bunch of bands that I would want to see. I want to get down to LA for that. I'm about 11 hours north of LA if I drive down. Yeah, Naughty Women. That's my kind of rock and roll, sleazy, good stuff. So what's up with everyone tonight? Just chilling, relaxing on YouTube. 9 people in the house. Thanks for being here, man. Andreas, the metal punk is in the house. What it is, man. Yeah, I appreciate everyone stopping by. I didn't give any notice because I didn't know how this worked. I thought, yeah, I'm going to go live on Saturday night randomly for like an hour. 10 people in the house. Thanks for being here, man. It's a get together kind of night. If anyone wants to ask questions about any of the music videos, any of the experiences, I've been through, I'll answer most stuff. I'd like to know where you guys are from and, who you are too, though. It's a metal and punk and rock and roll community. The Cramps. Yeah. I love the Cramps. I never got to see them, however. I do know that Lux Interior was a pen pal of John Wayne, you know who. Anti-Scene. Yeah, I'm friends with Jeff Clayton. I love Anti-Scene. But we were supposed to play with Anti-Scene one time. The Bloody Mess and the Scabs broke up for a bit back in like 1992. And I started a band called Deep Rest. I don't think I've ever told this story. So I started a band called Deep Rest, depressed. If you say it fast, it was depressed because I was. Well, we started rehearsing for a show and we had a bill with Anti-Scene and Deep Rest in East Peoria, Illinois, or Peoria, Illinois. And then some ass started calling the club and barraging them with saying, oh, Bloody's going to set flags on fire and do this and do that. He got them all paranoid and got the gig canceled, so I never got to play with Anti-Scene. And that really pissed me off because I know who was behind it. Total sociopath, man. I love the Cramps. I'm a huge fan. I went to a record store about a year ago here in Allin, Oregon, and I found an autographed Cramps album, man, signed by Lux Interior, Poison Ivy, and Kid Congo Powers. All signed in ink pen, though, back in like the 80s. And it's the real deal. I think it was like 40 bucks or 60 bucks, man. Oh, cool. What's up, Christopher Valdez? Watching Benny Hill and listening to fireworks from a nearby park right now. Yeah, fireworks are cool and everything, but I live in Oregon where stuff catches on fire, so I get paranoid about them. I hope they don't have any on the 4th here because all my stuff went up in smoke in 2020 when all my storage units caught on fire. We had a huge fire in California and Oregon, and dude, I lost everything in my life, all my possessions. It was a nightmare. I was in between homes and I lost everything, all my collectibles. But Benny Hill rules, man. I'm not here to bum anyone out. I'm not going to take you down. I'm depressed watching Bloody. Who else is in the house, man? Yeah, I'm glad you're all here, man. Kid Congo's biography. I did not know he had one. I'll have to read that. Yeah, it is a nightmare. It took a long time to peel back that psychological onion and accept that I have to let go of things. And that's like unattachment. That's a hard one for us Westerners because we want our stuff. I had hundreds of thousands of dollars worth of pop culture items, and I was getting ready to open up a pop culture museum in Ashland, Oregon, and everything burned. So yeah, I lost a lot of cool stuff, man, but whatever. I've learned to keep, that's what made this channel come alive. I'm like, I've got my memories. You can't take those. No fire can burn away my memories, man. And with a little research, I'm able to do some cool rock stories and meet cool people like you guys. Your dad is on mandatory evacuation from fires in Lapine. Oh, that's awful, man. Sad to hear. Yeah, we're in fire territory right now. It's the time of year where we're on the edge of our damn seats here in Oregon and California. It's sad, man. I hope your dad's okay. What a bummer, man. Those fires are devastating. I know people that have been left homeless and been burned and all kinds of horrible stuff. I lost stuff, but I didn't lose my home, and I didn't lose my, and your home is where your heart is. So at least I'm still able to somehow be happy despite losing everything. Howie Pyro had a huge collection, and I heard his family has been selling some things off. Yeah, problem is you got to have money. I'm one of those guys that just gets by hand to mouth. I'm a hustler. I don't really do, I'm looking for a kind of a gig, like something online or something, whatever. I used to DJ, but all my DJ equipment burned up in those fires, and I'm also legally ordained minister, non-denominational, so I do weddings too. I've done dozens and dozens of weddings, Grateful Dead weddings, biker weddings. I married somebody at Steve Miller's recording studio, was the last one I did. So your dad's out fishing off the coast with his girlfriend. Good. It's a good place to be. Out there on the water where the fire can't burn you. Yeah, that stuff's scary, man. 12 people in the house on a Saturday night, 14 people in the house. Thanks for being here, man. It's a get to know you kind of night. If you guys have questions or if you want to pipe into where you're from or if you want to bring up any topic, it's just a totally social night to see who pops on this channel to say hi. And I appreciate you guys. What shirt am I wearing? It's a Pink Floyd shirt. I don't know why my back thing is backwards. Normally when I do these videos, most of the time I have to flip it before I post it and it'll show it normal. But right now it's showing stuff backwards. Like there's my new album in the background and it's backwards. So if anyone has a tip on how to change that, I'm a real novice at anything technical, you guys. I'm barely able to be on here. But my shirt is a Pink Floyd shirt. You can see the image and it says, "Shine on, you crazy diamond." And it was a gift from my oldest daughter, Jessica. Shout out to Jessica. You can see Sid Barrett's picture right there. There's old Sydney. There he is, underneath my little necklace. Shine on, you crazy diamond. I'm a big fan of Sid Barrett and Pink Floyd, man. Especially that first Piper at the Gates of the Dawn album. Awesome. One of the best albums ever to trip to. Woo! Hey, Cheryl's in the house. Cheryl Werner, a big YouTube regular and supporter of my radio show, The Church of Rock. What's up, Cheryl? You rock. You rock. Also, Nick's in the house. Nick Doormaster, drinking beers and smoking weed. Yeah, nothing wrong with that, brother. You just got back from seeing a Creedence cover band. Nice. I love Creedence Clearwater Revival, man. John Fogerty is the best. Born on the Bayou. Yeah, man, good stuff. Adrian, you rock, man. So yeah, 14 people. That's cool. That's a party, right? If I had 14 people in my living room right now, I'd be like, yeah, passing the peace pipe. Hope you guys don't mind if I smoke. I'm not trying to offend anyone. If you're anti-cannabis, sorry. It's better than booze for me. I'm an ex-alcoholic. 30 years of crazy behavior, and I haven't gotten drunk since 2013. Thank God for this cannabis, man. I'm not espousing the use of it, but for me, it's a medicine. Dabbing in Missouri. Yeah, cool, man. I like to dab. I have a dab rig somewhere. Cheryl, you just got done talking to Sister Tracy. Jet Dog is doing good. She's right here. She's looking out the window. Normally, when I do videos from this room, I shut the window so I can get more of a studio effect. But Jet Dog's here. It's Saturday night. I'm smoking and got to get the smoke out of here, you know. Nick is smoking with me. Awesome. Nothing wrong with that. Last time I checked, I've never heard of anyone in the world ever overdosing from cannabis or going out and committing a violent act because of it, you know. But give me a few shots of tequila. God, I'll be in jail in an hour. No, I'm only half kidding. Oh, it's not showing in reverse on the camera. That's weird. Okay, so you can see that it says bloody mess right there. Let me zoom in. Can you see that? Let's see. I'm sorry. It says bloody F mess. Can you see that? Does it look normal to you guys? That's a trip. Sorry that it's shaky. I know it's unprofessional. I've got a little stand here that holds my phone. I could actually put that in the stand and not have to hold the thing and have it be shaky. I'm a novice, man, but you guys are bearing and hanging in with me. Thank you. And yeah, thanks on the congratulations on the no alcohol. It was a hard thing to kick for me, man. 30 years of that. I was a real hardcore drinker. And I was like Keith Moon when I drank. I'd go out and disappear on Monday and come back Friday and say, where the hell have I been? And I'd have stories galore, you know, and I'd be hearing about stories for months. And sometimes they'd end up in the newspaper. No joke, man. Oh, cool. Everything looks right. Okay, so you can see my thing that says "Shine on, you crazy diamond." Then okay, well, it's backwards to me. That's kind of weird, man. But what are you gonna do? I'm cool if it's cool with you. Happy Saturday, guys. Nobody's said anything about the cannabis. Thanks, man. A lot of people are touchy about that stuff. Oh, it's drugs. No, it's not, man. It's a plant. It's a plant. It's medicine. It's been smoked for thousands of years, from the Chinese to the Native Americans to you name it. Lots of cultures, lots of spiritual groups, lots of regular people, doctors, judges, lawyers, policemen. You know, there's a stigma attached to it, but at least it's getting legal now. Thank goodness. It should be. So everyone, where are you all from? Or what kind of questions you got for me? Anything at all? Yeah, everyone is touchy nowadays, but I'm not going to sit here and have a bitch session about it. I'm just going to focus on having fun. It's Saturday night. Everyone's just chilling. I don't expect much from anyone, but if you got anything you want to pipe in on, feel free. Everyone's welcome here. Anyone have any favorite YouTube videos that you've seen on the channel? Anything that you want to request more of? Anything you want to request less of? 12 people, 2 people left. I don't blame you. Kind of boring, huh? I'm a boring man. Ever met El Duce? No, but I did interview El Duce. There's a story on this YouTube channel, Bloody F Mess Official, all about me interviewing El Duce. I used to call him at his house in California, and he would just be completely hammered on alcohol, man. And some female, whoever lived with him at the time, would talk to me. And I finally called. I said, hey, man, I want to interview you for this fanzine I do called Fanatic. And El Duce said, send it in the mail so I could do it when I'm sober. And so I did. I sent it out immediately, and El Duce sent it back all filled out. It was awesome, man. I never did make it to LA in the early 80s. I did in the 90s. Thank you for loving my channel, Nick. I will be playing in Chicago March 15th, 2025 at the Livewire Club with the band Super 88 backing me up. I hope you'll come out to the show, Nick. March 15th. The day before my 59th birthday, man. Livewire, Chicago. Also, March 14th at the Raccoon Motel in Davenport, Iowa. Doing 2 nights in a row in the Midwest. Thanks for that, man. Buzzing Frets. I love your name, man. You like the Jakey Lee story? Yeah, I got stoned with Jakey Lee. That was fun, man. He was really cool, too, man. El Duce, well, that's his trip, not mine. My band was asked to be on the Mentors tribute album, and I said no because they said it was a tribute to Rape Rock was the name of the album. I said F that. I'm not going to be on that album. I like the Mentors. I think they were just a joke band, but whatever. But I'm not supporting that, so I was not on that tribute album. My ego is not that big. I have ethics. Thank you so much, the Death Hippie, Tech Death Hippie, Tech 9. Yeah. User 9429450, regardless of anything else. The Mentors is a badass name, yeah. Whatever, I don't take those guys seriously. They weren't like what they portrayed themselves as. They were, El Duce was out of control and stuff, but, No, Rape Rock is not great. I like the album and I like their music, and they weren't rapists. That was just their shtick. I knew those guys, and I know Sicky Whitebeater I almost started a band with the guy. I've opened up for him. Nope, they don't rape people. It's just a shtick, I'm telling you. So I'm not going to fall into that, having to, feel guilty about liking something because the whole world's freaked out about every little thing being so sensitive. The Mentors were just a great band, man. Well, really good band. They were funny. And a lot of women I know like the Mentors. So I know a lot of punk chicks that think they're funny. El Duce was adoring. Women loved him. Women liked that guy. He was just a big, lovable, bald-headed guy that talked a lot of smack. Gigi liked a lot of rock and roll. When I met Gigi, he was into like Great White and stuff, but he liked David Peel. He liked the New York Dolls and Jane County and Iggy Pop and stuff, Yeah, Steve Broy from the Mentors, the bass player. He goes by Dr. Heathen Scum. He's a totally nice guy. And he'll even be the first to tell you what we're doing is shtick, man. It's slapstick, It's like vaudeville. Hey, Dylan Smut. Hey, bloody glad to see you're alive and talking about one of my favorite bands. Well, somebody was saying, kind of being a little challenging about, the whole rape rock thing with the Mentors. Yeah, I get it. It could be offensive if you thought it was real. If you thought it was real, it would be definitely something I would be down against, but it's not. A man's rock. That's funny. I know a lot of women that love the Mentors. Seriously. Is who a doctor? El Duce's dead. Yeah, I saw the El Duce tapes. Yeah, he was a total scum sleaze rocker for sure. He was the real deal. Malcolm Tent, good guy. I like Malcolm. He even bought 10 copies of my new album for his store, man. That's cool of him. Thank you, Malcolm Tent. Yeah, I remember that band, the Child. I'm not going to say the name on here, but 1976. Yeah, I just heard them the other day, and I was going to play them on my radio show, but I thought, I'm not going to say the name on my radio show because that's going to get me in trouble. I just know it will. I have to have some lines drawn. Jeez. Dr. Heathen Scum, where did he get his degree from? I don't know. I don't know if he's a doctor. I don't know. He's the one I knew least. I had interactions with El Duce. I interviewed him for Fanatic fanzine in 1994. And me and Sicky Wife Beater, aka Eric Carlson, I believe his name is, he and I almost started like this quote unquote super group, but it never worked out because he's in Indiana and I'm in Oregon. And he's such a great guitar player. Sorry, I'm missing some of the comments, guys. I'm trying to keep up. Thank you, Cheryl. You said my new album is awesome. I'm trying to look down at the screen while I'm reading. You highly recommend my new album? Me too. It's called Dark Days Unfazed. It features members of the Plasmatics, members of the Germs, Sammy Town from Fang, Jordan Longmire. His father started the Bay City Rollers. He's the guy that sang "Baby Please Don't Go" with me on. We did a video on YouTube called "Baby Please Don't Go." You could go right now and watch it, and I would excuse you guys for 5 minutes if you wanted to go watch the video. It's Bloody F Mess with Jordan Longmire, or you can look up Derek Moody with Jordan Longmire doing "Baby Please Don't Go." It features Dave Moe on guitar and bass, and Alex Moore on the drums. I highly recommend the video. It's really cool. Doesn't cost you a dime. Who passed away today? Dude. Okay, sorry to hear that. Black metal scene during the 90s. I was into the black metal scene when Venom started it back in the early 80s. And I saw the black metal, the album after black metal, Welcome to Hell Tour by Venom. I love those guys. Wendy O. Williams, did I ever meet Wendy? I did. I met her. I wrote to her for years. I interviewed her. It's on YouTube. You can type in Bloody F Mess Wendy O. Williams interview 1986, and you'll hear a 40-minute chat with me and her when I was 19 years old. I'm 58 now, and that's the real deal. Me and Wendy were friends. We wrote to each other for years. I had letters and postcards until they burned in the storage fires. But when I actually met her in person, I was tripping on LSD. And then I went in to get to know all the Plasmatics. I'm actually really good friends with Wes Beach of the Plasmatics, and I've recorded 2 different songs with him, and I'm actually doing a Plasmatics Wendy O tribute with Wes Beach, the guitar player for the Plasmatics, working on that right now. We're doing 4 Plasmatics cover songs, including A Pig is a Pig, and we're also doing 2 new originals. And on my new album, there's a song called Wax Fruit that features Wes Beach, the guitarist of the Plasmatics, with T.C. Tolliver, the drummer for the Plasmatics. And we're working on a music video for that actively right now, too. That'll be out soon, man. Richard Allin is putting together that video for us in Racine, Wisconsin. Nardwar. No, I'm a big fan of Nardwar. Chris Valdez, you're in the house. Thank you for being here. I love Nardwar. Great DJ from Canada that does great interviews on YouTube. He's so awesome. He's funny as hell. A G.G. Allin box set. I don't remember that idea. I'm not going to deny that maybe I said that because I have a crappy memory. The stuff that I do remember, I remember well. But then there's stuff that people remind me of, and I'm like, what? So a G.G. Allin box set? I don't think so. I don't own the rights to any G.G. material. And the only G.G. stuff I'm related to is the stuff I co-wrote with 2 songs with Gigi. I co-wrote Scars on My Body that's on his You Give Love a Bad Name album, 1987, I believe, 86, 7, 6. And then I also co-wrote Thinkin' and Drinkin', which came out on the Bloody Years CD that I put together for Black and Blue Records, which has lots of different stuff from my collection, live recordings, telephone conversations, like weird stuff. But it's just for collectors only, and it's called The Bloody Years. It's on Black and Blue Records. Yeah, I'm live. It's Nick Pantazzi. Sorry if I butchered your name, bro. Hey, you're Italian, man. 20 people in the house. I got 1 like. Only 1 like. Come on, guys. No more love than that. You can't give me 19 more likes. Come on, you guys. Show me the love. Let's see the numbers go up in real time. It doesn't take any effort to hit that like button and make a guy happy. Come on, man. Come on. More likes. You can do it. Listen to me begging. I'm begging on bended knee. Okay, no love. It's okay, man. I still love you guys. Let's see. You have more likes than 1. Okay, maybe I see 3. I see 3. What happened with that neighbor that held you up? That guy, nothing. Well, if you want to know the truth, the cop, Scott Davidson, no, I don't know him. But Easy Jesus Co. What happened with that neighbor that held me up? Here's the story with that, the true story. I didn't want to talk about this on video, but I will. At the time, I was selling smoke for a living. I don't do that anymore, so I can't incriminate myself. It was too long ago. This is like 91. But that guy held me up, and he was selling crack, and I knew he was because I went over to smoke with him one night, and I thought it was weed, and guess what it was? Yeah. And I was really like, "Oh, you got to be kidding." And I was real paranoid. And I could see this guy looking at me like from the side of his eyes and looking at me in the car in this like big old Cadillac. And we're sitting in there with this like really loud music pumping. And I'm like smoking what I thought was weed, but it wasn't. And I was just like, and I could feel the bad vibes. And the next day he robbed me. And when I called the cops, they took me to the station and they figured out my deal. And they said, "You're a liar, and we're not going to arrest this guy because you were just doing illegal activities and stuff, and blah blah blah." And they knew my number, dude. It was crazy. That's a true story. And I saw that guy walking down the road one time after that, and boy, it took everything I had not to pull over and get out and do what I had to do. But I'm not a violent person by nature, so that guy held me up, and he held a crowbar to my throat and a gun to my head, and that was a crazy experience, man, but I lived. Pimpadelic, is that a band that you're in? Okay, tell me more. Greek. Okay, Nick, sorry, you're not Italian. I'm bad. I'm a bad boy. You're not Italian. You're Greek. Have I been to Pops in East St. Louis? Oh, hell yes. Pops, the 24-hour nightclub? Oh, yeah, man. I used to party there. I think I might have played there once, man. But I used to drink a lot. So I used to black out when I drank. And it was a lot of years. I don't remember stuff. I used to take my daughter there. My youngest daughter, Audrey, who's 31 now. I used to take her there when she was a teenager to see like Tech Nine and stuff like that. Head PE. Good morning, Liz DeWitt. Thanks for joining in on the chat. 23 people strong. First time going live. This is fun, man. I like it. I like it. Thank you guys for being here. It means a lot to me. You saw the Cramps at Pops? Man, I never saw the Cramps. Do you believe that crap? I never saw the Cramps, man. I love them. They're one of my very favorite bands of all time, man. The Cramps absolutely rule. Lux Interior is one of the best lead vocalists and frontmen in American history. Iggy Pop, Elvis, and Lux. Yeah, man. Stiv Bators. Thank you, Liz. My first live. What's up, Mark? It's my first live ever, man. I just hit the button tonight and said, I'm going to see what happens. Next time, I think I'll give people a warning so we could get a lot of people in here. But I wanted to just get to know each other and have a free-for-all. I did this tutorial earlier today on YouTube. How do you do a live chat and be successful? Oh, you have to have a plan or it's going to be boring. I'm like, I don't have a plan. I just want to get to know my rock and roll community that joined me on this channel. Am I a fan of the legendary Shack Shakers? That's a new one to me. I can't lie. I've never heard them. Did I like Bobby Ebbs, and Genocide? I got to be honest. Gigi was friends with Bobby, and I heard a lot about him, or Bobby EBZ, right? Bobby Ebbs, Bobby EBZ. I never got to know him. I think we wrote to each other once back in the 80s. Eric, you rule. Thank you, man. Liz. Man, my site is not so good, guys. This message is held for review. I'm going to click view message. Not boring. Effing cool S. Am I not supposed to cuss on here? Is that the deal? I think so. I think there's a lot of people that bow down to the pressures that be without really just doing what they need to do. So I'm not going to worry about it too much. If I cuss, I cuss. What are they going to do? Demonetize it? I don't care. Rock Rebel Radio. Well, I'm going to be playing in Chicago. Write this down. I'm going to be performing live, doing my new Dark Days Unfazed album. It's in the background, right? Well, where is it, man? There it is. It's hiding. Anyway, my new Dark Days Unfazed album, 13-song vinyl album with members of the Plasmatic and the Germs, doing it live with a band called Super 88 in Chicago, March the 15th. It's going to rock at Live Wire Club. And I'll be in Davenport, Iowa the night before March 14th at the Raccoon Motel. It's going to kill. We're going to do a lot of the bloody classics from the old days, and we're going to do 3/4 of the new album plus some covers. Any punk bands that I dislike? Well, God, I hate to go into that because it's negative. And then there's going to be people that are going to like them and not like me. You see how it works? Because people don't accept other people's opinions lightly these days. So when you divide, it's a very divisive country and world. I don't like to divide myself. It pisses me off that people fall for the crap they do. So for me to do that, it's going to divide me from others. So I'd rather not really say. I feel like a puss kind of by not being honest, but at the same time, do I want to put myself out there and say I don't like Keith Morris from the Circle Jerks? Yeah, it's actually a funny situation. I'd love to go to Europe. If anyone wants to book me in Europe, I'd go in a heartbeat. All I need to find is a band in Europe to learn a set of my music. I've done this many times and it works out great. The band learns my set that I send them, and then I fly over and do one rehearsal, and then we do the gigs. I've done 13, 12 state tours doing it that way. No ego. I try not to have a big ego, man, dude. Honestly, I've gone through a lot of transformation. Ah, okay, questionable language. Okay, I'm learning, man. I'm sorry if I'm missing any of your comments and you want me to read them. Just keep sending them until I see them, okay, guys? Because I'm not trying to blow anyone off or, not read any comments, but they're going by fast, which is cool. That means it's interactive and someone gives a damn. 23 people in the house. If 23 people were in my living room right now, I'd be stoked. Does Merle ever reach out? Yeah, me and Merle had a falling out a long time ago, but we patched that up in 2014 when I flew to Texas, a band called the Cutthroats in San Antonio. Shout out to the Alvarado brothers, Joe and, oh gosh, oh, my memory sucks, dude. The Alvarado brothers, James and Joe, flew me out from the Cutthroats and they learned a set of my old school music. And we did a great set opening for the Murder Junkies with Merle Allin at some club in San Antonio in 2014, and we buried the hatchet. And Merle has come to Medford, Oregon, I think after that twice, and I've seen him once or twice. We're cool. I haven't heard from him, but I have interviewed him. You can find the interview on my The Church of Rock. It's called The Church of Rock, one word, on YouTube. I interviewed Merle Allin. It's on there. Eric, thank you so much. I try to be down to earth. I'm glad you're here too, Liz. Al Jorgensen from Ministry used to work the counter at Wax Trax Records when I used to go buy records there in like the early 80s. He was the guy working the counter, and he was in Ministry already, and they'd already released their first EP with Sympathy, I believe it's called. Had the Flowers or Days of Wine and Roses. I don't remember the name of the damn thing. But yeah, I used to buy records from Al Jorgensen from Ministry. Merle's beard has lice. Ha 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 ha. That's funny. Love from Edinburgh. Raw, Roy Harper's hat. I love Edinburgh. I was just talking to my friend Marag today from Edinburgh, and I want to go back. I went to Edinburgh, Scotland. I was managing Pat McGlynn from the Bay City Rollers. And I went over there and stayed with Pat a couple of years ago, and that was crazy. But I ended up on the radio over there performing with him, doing Bay City Roller songs, and also hung out with Jordan Longmire. His dad started the Bay City Rollers, and I did a video. You can find it on YouTube. It's called Bloody Mess and Pat McGlynn Empty. And the guy that plays all the music on it is the guitarist from the Scottish metal band Holocaust. Gordon Anthony played all the music. It's pretty ripping. It's a remake of my 1992 Bloody Mess and the Scab song Empty. Bloody Mess and Pat McGlynn Empty. You guys got to check it out on YouTube. And I filmed all the footage myself on my phone in the Scottish Highlands and in Old Town Edinburgh. Oh, Christopher's talking about Merle Allin having lice in his beard. That's funny stuff, man. Merle, are you out there? I know you're not. That's funny, man. Yeah, Roy Harper's hat. Please check out the video. Robert's in the house. Robert Peru says, Biker, Punks from Hell. That's a song from the 1987, 1988 first EP from Bloody Mess and the Scabs, which is also on my YouTube channel. That song, Biker Punks from Hell, and you could say we smell. Yeah, that's a crazy old classic. Ugly Friends. Lawless, that's another one, man. Did you know what the story Lawless is about, don't you, Robert? You know what Lawless is about? If I ever need a place to stay in Northern Illinois when I'm up this way, I've got one. Thank you, Nick. I'll take you up on that, bro, because I hate getting hotels and Airbnbs. I'd rather stay with people. I'm almost 60 and I'm just like I always was. I'd rather sleep on the couch in someone's house, stay up all night smoking weed and listen to punk rock and roll records, man. I love Jeff Clayton. Yeah, he's been on my radio show and he's a good dude, man. I love Annie Scene. I was supposed to play with him once, but it fell through. Waddy, I love Waddy, and I love The Exploited. Love him. I tried to get Waddy on my radio show recently, and he said, "Oh, no one understands me," and it pisses me off, so he doesn't want to do it. Did I ever meet Joey or Johnny? Yep, I sure did. I met them both, and I actually went to Johnny Ramone's apartment once, but this was weird because he was already married, but he was still going back and forth and screwing his ex, Roxy Ramone, in Chicago. And I ended up over there one time and he was on tour, but all his stuff, a lot of his stuff was there, all his stuff on the walls, photos of his, and she was really high on heroin at the time. And she actually was interviewed on my radio show recently too. You can find that at The Church of Rock, one word, The Church of Rock. Subscribe, please, to that channel. It's got thousands of, or about 1,000 videos and about 500 video interviews I've done with legends. And I interviewed Roxy Ramon about that incident. But yeah, I was at Johnny's apartment, and I met Joey and Johnny in the alley in Chicago when the Ramones played Chicago for the very last time. Couch surfing, the very best, Mark says. Yeah. Well, I like to keep it real. Who wants to go to some stupid hotel, man? The thing about me is I don't like to hang out with people that are doing a lot of drugs or drinking after when I'm hanging out, because I used to do that stuff. And, if you hang out at the barber shop long enough, you're bound to get a haircut eventually. So I've learned my lessons, man. I got to stick with the potheads. Johnny's guitar sold for $1 million almost. Wow, that's crazy. I guess I can believe it. I know I never saw the Misfits with Glenn live, Ricky. Ricky Alvarez in the house. No, but I did meet Glenn Danzig's manager when Bloody Mess and the Hollow Bodies played in LA. It was 2010, and we played there. And when I was done, this dude came up to me and says, "Hey, man, you need a place to stay. I'm the manager for Glenn Danzig. I got this big mansion, blah, blah, blah. Huge, like 12, room mansion. Had a radio station and a radio show going on in this mansion. I met a lot of rock stars there, including Sid from Slipknot, tons of people. And they took us back there, and we partied like rock stars. And this was a real deal. It was Russell McKay from the Poor Kids Radio, and his brother was the manager for... oh God, Insane in the Membrane. Yeah, his God darn it, what are they called, guys? Cypress Hill. Yeah, so I went back and partied, boy. Woo! I woke up the next morning, didn't remember anything that had happened, and my guitar player sits up and goes, "Wow, man, I love partying with Bloody." And I'm like, "Oh, what happened?" And then I got filled in. Whoo-wee! I got to tell you some weird stuff about that night, man. You guys want to hear a crazy story about Glenn Danzig? I've never told anyone. I stayed at the Poor Kids Mansion, it's called, and it was Glenn Danzig's literally his manager. So if you guys I want to get high, go ahead, get high, man. I am. I'll smoke some right now with you. But do you want to hear something crazy about Glenn Danzig? You know how he's supposedly straight edge and all that? Well, when we were at the Glenn Danzig mansion, Russell says to me, "Hey, man, you wanted to see what Glenn does?" And I go, "What do you mean?" And he takes out this little bottle, and it says Tiger Balm. And there's Chinese lettering. And I had like a little spray nozzle that you press down to spray this bottle. And I'm like, "What is this stuff? I've heard of Tiger Balm." He goes, "No, it's not the other Tiger Balm that you've heard of." I said, "What is it?" He goes, "This is what Glenn uses, I don't know what he said. I can't remember. But he sprayed some of this stuff on my neck. And he told me that it's literally made, and this was appalling. He said it was made from like the pituitary gland from a real tiger. And this was stuff they got in China. And I was like, "What?" And he sprayed it on my neck and he rubbed it in. And I felt like I was on totally intense, like morphine, like opiates. I was immediately high. I was like, "Oh, wow." And then Christopher, the bass player of the Bloody Mess Rock Circus, that's who was with me. He was just a pot kind of guy. And I was the kind of guy that would, I've always kind of been the kind of guy that does whatever. I'm sober now. I don't do drugs anymore. But at the time I said, "I'll try it." And oh my God, I felt like I just done some really good morphine. I hate this. I'm not endorsing morphine, but that stuff just feels good. And it was like, this is what Glenn Danzig does? And Christopher, I talked him into trying it, and he goes, "Whoa, no wonder so many people do opiates." I'm like, "Yeah, don't do this stuff." And I'm like, "So if Glenn Danzig does this, he's not real straight edge, is he?" Wow. So I'm not dissing on Glenn at all because I'm a fan, man. But that stuff was incredibly weird, man. I've never told that story. It was very strange. Very strange. It was made in China. I'm going to make a Patreon account, user, whatever who this is. I am making a Patreon account, and I'm going to tell all my X-rated stories and my adult stories and my sex, drugs, and rock and roll stories that YouTube won't allow, or that the real sensitive people will end up unsubscribing if I tell. Because I put up a video the other day, and I lost like a bunch of subscribers. I'm like, "Are you kidding me?" So I can't go into that territory. So I decided, okay, I've learned a lesson. I'm going to use those stories for my Patreon for the adults in the room. Do I know the chicks in? I do not. I do not know them. Tiger semen is real too, is real. Whoa, no, it wasn't tiger semen, it was tiger balm. And it was made out of a part of a tiger, and I thought that was uncool as hell. I would never kill a tiger. But I got to tell you, that tiger balm was fun, man. Woo! 36 people in the house right here at Bloody F Mess Official. Thank you guys for coming live with me, man. I'm just hanging out on a Saturday night, getting to know you guys. And if I missed your something on the screen that you typed, send it over again, man. I'm trying to answer any questions and engage with you guys. Where are you from? Who are you? It's my channel, but yeah, but you're part of it. It's a community of rockers, man. We're hanging out on Saturday night. We're interconnected, man. I'm in Ashland, Oregon, like 15 miles above the Northern California border in a little teeny tiny tourist town, and it's really awesome here. Warrior Soul. Yeah, I like them. Yep. I had a cassette tape by them or a CD when they first came out. Favorite Kiss album? I would have to say Hotter Than Hell and Destroyer. Ricky, yeah, I love Kiss, man. Big fan from the very first album on until they did the. I really wasn't a fan of Unmasked or The Elder, but it's not bad. Psycho Circus is okay, you know, but I like the classic stuff the best. Nope. I got to tell you, I'm not trying to be a dick. I don't have anything against him, but I was not a fan of the Misfits without Glenn. Nope, not at all. But I did open up a gig for Michael. What's his name? Man, I feel bad. Michael. My memory is horrible, guys. The singer that was in the Misfits after Glenn Danzig, Michael, what's his last name? No offense to him. I like the guy. I'm just not a fan of the stuff he did, Michael Graves. Yeah, I opened up for Michael Graves with the Bloody Mess Rock Circus in 2013 in Medford, Oregon. But I like Danzig better, sorry. Casey from Massachusetts. What's up, man? Nice to have you here, Casey. Yeah, I have nothing against Michael Graves. I've heard that stuff by the Misfits, and it's not bad. It's, it's good. Nothing bad about it. It's just that, I prefer the Danzig stuff. I won't listen to Judas Priest without Halford. I never have. I would never do it, man. Ripper Owens, no offense to him either. But I'm a purist when it comes to rock and roll, man. Yeah, I love Kiss, man. I love Ace Frehley. Yep, I love heavy music, man. I'm a punk rocker. I'm a metalhead. I'm a rocker. I like pop rock. I like, rockabilly. I like blues rock. I really like outlaw country. I like it a lot, but I'm more of a rocker, Tim Owen sucks. Oh, I love Typo Negative. Yeah, Peter Steele and Typo Negative. Yeah. Tell Bill Meisner hi. I will. Man, I talked to Bill a lot. He's doing good. Bill Meisner sang backup vocals on my new Dark Days Unfazed album, along with Don Bowles, the drummer for the Germs. That was awesome. And yeah, my album is available if anyone's interested. You can hit me up through YouTube, or you can email me at dmoody41@hotmail.com. That's D as in dog, the word moody41 at hotmail.com. I've got about 30 copies of my new CD and about 20 of my new vinyl album, Dark Days Unfazed. It's my 10th album in 40 years. Do I like Oi? Hell yeah, I like Oi. Cockney Rejects, Exploited. Balmy Army, Exploited. Balmy Army. I like all punk rock. I love the Mentally Ill. I interviewed one of the guys from the Mentally Ill on my Church of Rock radio show. Yeah, man, I think it's on there. If it's not, then, well, it's not. But I interviewed one of those guys, and I even got an autographed copy of the Mentally Ill Gacy's Play 7-inch. Rocky Erickson, 13th Floor Elevators. Big fan, man. I love Psych. Love that guy. Love Rocky Erickson a whole lot. Sid Barrett, Daniel Johnson, all that stuff, man. You know what? I don't do bands anymore, man. I did bands for Jesus. From 1983 to 2022. And then I did my last gig with my band Divine Dirt, and that COVID hit. And then I decided I get sick of being around people with addiction issues and personality clashes and freaking ego trips, dude. And I went through my own weird transformation and just don't give a crap. Henry Rollins, no, he wrote to me once, though. I did not meet Henry. Voivod, I love Voivod. Yeah. Piggy. Voivod rules. No, but I wrote Henry Rollins, and he sent me a cool autograph picture, and he signed it for me. What was I saying, man? I was in the middle of a story. See, I've got ADHD, and now this is the first time it's ever come out on video, I think. Well, no, I think a lot of my videos, I'm kind of get off topic quite a bit. I need to chill out with that stuff, man. And I need to edit. That's one thing about me, you guys. I decided, you know what? I'm not going to edit. There's so many people that are slick and produced and have these colors, thumbnails and all this crap, and I love it. It looks great. But I thought I am the thumbnail. I even wrote a new song. It's called I Am the part of the word says I am the thumbnail. I am the emoji. I am the emoji. I am the thumbnail. Look at this. That is the thumbnail, man. You know? What do I need a thumbnail? I don't need no stinking thumbnail. Okay, I'm going to read some of these questions. Go listen to my band, DOAS. Ooh, DOAS. All right, cool. Sounds good, man. Another message being held for view. I mean, somebody's cussing. I like cussing. No. Let's see. It says F. Fuck editing. Yeah, I agree. I agree. We should be able to say fuck editing. Yeah. PHUCK is not a bad word. As a music nerd, whenever I meet other true music lovers like me, I always ask them if they grew up in a music family. Did Bloody grow up with music fanatic parents? Yes. My mother was a rocker. Shout out to my mother Bonnie, who died in January of 2009. But when I grew up, it was a regular ritual to put on a record first thing in the morning and keep them on all day long, man. Literally. My mom was a rocker. She had a big box full of 7-inch records. She turned me on to the Beatles and the Dave Clark Five, and then everything after that, man, from Waylon Jennings to Herman's Hermits to, I mean, everything, man. She was like the coolest. Yes, I've met Jello Biafra. There's a story on this channel called The Night I Hung Out Backstage with the Dead Kennedys and Jello Biafra. And I interviewed Jello and hung out with him as he did vocal warm-ups. I actually used to write to Jello for years. I hung out with Jello many times. Hung out with him in Boulder once at a church, met his parents. Hung out with him in Illinois a couple times. And then I hung out with him backstage because he put me on his guest list for 1984 in Chicago with the Crucifix, Naked Ray Gun, and Dead Kennedys. So that video is on this channel. Please find that under my video section. I love 80s cowpunk. Jason and the Scorchers. Blood on the Saddle. Oh, yeah, I love cowpunk. You know who turned me on to cowpunk? Michael Russa. Yeah, man. Yep. He's a great dude, man. Michael O'Russa, a.k.a. CP in Madison, Wisconsin now. He turned me on to that stuff, man. I love that stuff. Elvis to Dylan. Yeah, hell yeah. I love Elvis and Dylan. Big fan of both. Love Elvis. Love Dylan. Hotter Than Hell rules. That's a great album, man. Yeah, I'm trying to keep up. This is cool. 35 people hanging out with me on a Saturday night. Thank you, guys. Wow. You could be anywhere right now in the whole world, yet you're on the internet with this dude. You guys rock. 32 people. That's cool. If somebody left, no problem. You got better stuff to do, right? Manowar. Yeah, I like Manowar. Yep, Manowar rules. Have I ever seen Cheese Pizza? I don't think so. But I've been to Joliet. I've been to that whole area. I think I actually played in Joliet. You know, I used to give my daughter rides to concerts in Joliet to see like Head PE and Tech Nine and stuff. More Gigi stories. Okay, you got it. I've got a lot of them, man. I just didn't want the channel to. I don't want people to think I have to ride on Gigi's coattails, and that's how I've been for years. So I've been kind of holding back. But you're right. The fans have been asking, and I'm going to deliver those Gigi stories. I've got so many, dude. I'm sorry, I'm trying to read this. I need to smoke some weed. Rest in peace to my mom. Thank you, Nick. My mom took you to many shows. Yeah, my mom was great, man. She was not a fan of punk rock music. She never made any bones about it. But when I had my outlaw country band, the Renegades, she came to almost every show I did. I did like 80 gigs with that band. 3 shows a week, 4 sets of music a night for about a year and a half solid or something. Doing country covers, man. Wine. God, I wish I could have wine. I can't drink wine. If I drink wine, I'll drink 2 glasses of wine. And then I'll have 3. And then I'll wake up at someone's house I don't know in about a week. Seriously. Thank you, Nick, for being here, man. First real concert, the Bay City Rollers, 1977. I did see Gigi in the Murder Junkies era, and I'm not going to lie, don't get mad at me. It's my least favorite era. I like the Scum Fucks. I like the Jabbers. I like the Cedar Street Sluts. I like the stuff on Punk Media. And I'm not saying I hate it or dislike it. I'm just saying it's my least favorite. You had the Hotter Than Hell Kiss lunchbox. Awesome. Thanks for being here, dude. Your mom thought that they were satanic. Yeah, a lot of people did. How weird, huh? People are so bizarre with their religious weird kicks, man. Satanic. Ever been to AA? I have been to others AA meetings, not myself. When I kicked drugs and alcohol, I kicked alcohol on my own without anybody else helping. I just stopped drinking after 30 years of abuse. And then to get off opiates, when I was addicted to that, it took me about 10 years of abuse, but I went to rehab for 4 days. It was a 7-day program and I learned my lesson, man. And I said later, and it's been years. But yeah, I don't think AA is a bad thing. I'm not saying don't go. I think if you need it, it's a great support system. So is NA. I've been to meetings at both with other people to support them. Yes. And I would not hesitate to go to a meeting. There's times in my life, even now, where I think I'm teetering on the edge of relapse. What are you going to do, man? We live in tough times, man. And I'm always honest. Yeah, the GG acoustic stuff is phenomenal, man. That Carmelita cover is killer, man. It's really, really killer, man. I love the Jabbers. Malpractice too, yep. Congrats. Thanks, Adrian. I'm not one of those people that sits around and thinks about it. I don't Jones for alcohol or drugs. I don't think about that stuff. I don't. If I wanted to relapse, I would. I wouldn't even hesitate. I don't do it though because I just know it's hard to. It's like a fire. You can start a little fire and warm up, but if you walk away, that fire could spread. You know what I'm saying? You walk away mentally just for even a minute, and then it spreads. That one glass of wine for me turns into the whole bottle. Absolutely every time. Hey, Bloody, this is Eric in Florida. What's up, dude? My oldest daughter, Jessica, lives in Plant City, Florida. I've got a 31-year-old and a 41-year-old daughter, right? Both redheads, both from different mothers. I love Mark Robinson. I haven't talked to Mark in a few weeks, but yeah, I talked to Mark Robinson. You can go to streaming platforms right now and look for Bloody F Mess. It's called Screaming the Blues. Punk Media released that in the last year. It's a 6-song EP with live tracks from me doing Doors covers and other rock and roll and punk rock, some other stuff. And my new album, Dark Days Unfazed, was put out by Mark Robinson on streaming platforms as well. My whole new album, Bloody F Mess. Dark Days Unfazed. The whole album is available on streaming. I also have it on CD and vinyl. If anyone is interested in the vinyl or CD, I've got about 20 something copies of the CD or the vinyl and maybe 30 or 40 of the CDs left. It's got members of the Plasmatics and Germs, other great people. Who's FFF? I'm sorry, refresh my memory. Andreas the Metal Punk. Yeah, I was into bands in Florida back then, like Chaos and what was the other one that was Roach Motel? Roach Motel, old school Florida band I liked. Wasp? No, I don't have any Wasp stories. Blackie Lawless, I've always been on the fence about. I think theatrically they were great. I think their music was cool, but there's a few reasons why he's kind of always been someone I haven't really cared for much, but I'm not dissing the guy. He looked cool. I'm just not a big fan. Fraley's Comet. Awesome. Ace Frehley, man. He's the man. Blackie Lawless is your lover. Nice, man. Well, good for you. Hope he's a good lover. D. Snyder. The only stories I have from D. Snyder is he cut an ID for my radio show, which I play on my radio show, The Church of Rock, which is on Sunday nights, www.kskq.org. You can hear me live every Sunday, live on the radio from 6 p.m. Pacific time for 2 hours. And you can hear it. It says, "You're listening to The Church of Rock with Derek Moody. This is D. Snyder." He did that for me once because the hair metal, the House of Hair radio show was on the radio station that I was on, and I sent him an email and said, "Hey, would you cut an ID for me, man? They carry your station, your show on my station that I'm on doing radio," and he did. And then also my daughter Audrey met D. Snyder and gave him a copy of my Bloody Mess Rock Circus 2013 album, and he took a picture holding it. So that's out there on the internet somewhere. Yeah, Blackie Lawless was actually in the very last incarnation of the New York Dolls, too, for just a minute. FFF, Fight for Freedom. You're educating me, man. I'm not sure who they are. Have I ever seen Gigi Allen's Last Day Alive video? Oh my God. That's one of the most punk rock things I've ever seen in my entire life. Wow, that was crazy, man. Yeah, I've seen it. Art Bell, yep, sure am. Coast to coast with Art Bell from the high desert. I love Art Bell. Not a big fan of George Snorri, though. I've got to smoke, guys. If you want me to stay on it and keep enjoying myself, I got to have some medicine, man. You know, I'm going to try to put this thing in this little stand I have. Let's see if I can manipulate this so I can stand back and give you guys a different view. Let's change this up a little bit here, man, huh? Yeah, there we go. Natural lighting, not too light. Oh, yeah, rock and roll. This is better. Now, the problem is, can I see the screen? I sure can. I'll have to sit close, man, because I'm not putting reading glasses on and humiliating myself with the way I look with those on, like some nerd with long hair. Right on. All right, let's get this fixed, man. I'm just adjusting myself, guys. JJ French writes for an audiobook online zine. Awesome. I'd like to interview him for my radio show. Can you set it up, man? Can you set it up an interview with me and JJ French for my radio show? That's the question. Thank you so much. What's your name? Anti-xenophile. Anti-xenophile. That's a nice compliment. Thank you. Art Bell, Eric777, puffing on some sativa. Well, I'm more of an indica guy, but the truth is, I never noticed the difference. I'll smoke sativa or indica, and I never, I've got ADHD. You can probably tell. I try to control it. That's why this is medicine that helps me. Happy Saturday. 37 people. Wow. FFF was a punk gang here in LA back in the 80s. Trippy. I love Blue Oyster Cult. Yep. Dave is asking me if I like BOC. Who doesn't? Yeah. Death metal scene. I wasn't really a big fan of the death metal scene then. I wasn't against it, and I knew a lot of people in it. I sang on the first Empatago album, too, by the way. I did a spoken word part, and those guys were like grindcore. I love Empatago, man, but I'm on that first album. I needed some other backing vocals on the album, too, man, with Steve-O and Marcus Carcass. Nice. Nice, Nick. That's cool. Chris Holmes. Chris Holmes, is he back in Wasp? I thought he was like living in another country and had a falling out with those guys. Is Chris Holmes back in Wasp? I am blazing it up. Hell yeah, man. Boneheads. Is that a band or are you calling us Boneheads? That'd be a cool name for this group. Bunch of boneheads smoking weed on a Saturday night. Looking for no trouble here, man. Diagnosed with minimal brain dysfunction at 3 years. ADHD. Okay, I'm 54. Yeah, I was never diagnosed, man, with anything, but I just know from reading psychology books and educating myself, plus living with somebody that has a master's degree in psychology and other things. I pretty much have ADHD, but I'm glad my parents didn't put me on the meds for that stuff. A lot of those school shooters have had those meds in their system, antidepressants and things that whatever, I used to have talks with my friend Dean from 1096 about this, and they had him on like lithium and all kinds of crap. And it was like, man, sorry if my eyes are bugging out. I'm looking at myself trying to, it's bizarre. It's bizarre looking at yourself on camera talking and trying not to like look at yourself. You know what I mean? It's weird. So when I zero in on me, it's like, whoa, don't do that. Look at this dot. UFO, I love UFO and Michael Schenker. Huge fan. Doctor, please. Lights out in London. Hold tight until the end. I love UFO, man. Wow, we're going on an hour, and I've got 38 people here. Thank you for being here on this Saturday night. It's my first time ever being live. What do you think? Is it boring? Is it cool? I wish I could do more to entertain people, like play some music or something, but I guess doing questions is fun and talking. It's fun getting stoned with me. Well, I better repack my bowl. Your mom took you to a doctor. He was anti-medication. He put me on an escalation diet. That's awesome. Sounds like you had a progressive doctor. Yeah, I hate that. I hate those big pharma drugs, man. Yeah, I like edibles, but I'm more of a smoker. I can't really control the dosage in edibles. I tend to way overdo it when I do edibles, man. I've got pictures that my daughter has taken of me when I've taken way too many edibles, and I'm just laughing nonstop. Oh, you got pizza? Dude, that's my favorite food. I'm jealous. I want freaking pizza, man. I did have a soda today. It's one of my guilty pleasures. I had a Sprite today when I had tacos from a mom and pop taco place today. But I want pizza right now. I'm hungry. I love Throbbing Gristle and Psychic TV, and I actually corresponded with Genesis Peorage before she died. It was an interesting conversation, and she was supposed to come on my radio show. Can you believe this was before I had Skype or Zoom figured out? And they said they could do it, but I couldn't figure out a way to do it with our time schedules. So I blew the interview. Had I known about Skype and Zoom or how to run it, because I'm very, very bad at technology stuff, I could have had an interview with Genesis Peorage. I blew it, man. It was about a year before she died. Oh boy, it's rolling through quick, guys. And you said something about a show in Portlandia, but I don't remember what you're saying, bro. I couldn't read it. There's another message that I got to view because it's got a bad word in it, huh? Eric, you are a bonehead. Oh, maybe somebody was calling us boneheads. That's cool. I could care less, man. He was a psychiatrist general. Oh, okay. He was a psychiatrist, general practitioner. Okay. That's cool, Liz. Thanks for telling me that, man. Well, I'm glad you're not on meds for that stuff. ADHD's, well, it can work for you sometimes. I've accomplished a hell of a lot from the hyperactive part. I've done a lot in my career, man. A lot because of being just active. But it also keeps people away from you because your energy can be so intense, it can make people not want to be around you. That's what I've experienced. Or people saying, are you on meth or coke? That pisses me off. I get that a lot. Nope, I don't do meth. I did it once on accident back in like 97 or something. I would never do that crap ever again. It's awful. Horrible drug. Did I listen to WWCT? I used to be a disc jockey there. I got hired in August of 1999, and that's where I cut my teeth in radio. I'm coming on my 25th year in radio broadcasting now. I was on the air from midnight to 6 a.m., 7 days a week at Rock 106 WWCT, and that's where I started my 2-hour Church of Rock specialty syndicated radio show that I still host every Sunday to this day. Tomorrow night, I'll be doing it at 6 o'clock Pacific time. You can listen live at www.kskq.org. That's www.kskq.org. You can hear the Church of Rock. It's a killer show. We play everything, rock, punk, metal. I tell stories. And tomorrow night, I'm interviewing Casey Royer from the band DI and the Adolescents and Social Distortion. He's a friend. He's been on the show before, and he's actually guest vocaled on one of my albums. Casey Royer tomorrow night on the Church of Rock. Edibles. You had some brownies. They were the size of pop postcards with no dosage. You go down to the basement and you ate the whole brownie. You were fine for 1 minute? They were that strong? Dang, Vengeance Falls, 96. That's intense. You got ripped that quick off one brownie. Wow. Art Bell's your favorite. I love Art Bell. Nope, there's no video footage of Gigi in Peoria, and there is audio footage from the second time he played there, but the first time the cops got my cassette player and it had a tape in it. Pisses me off. Yep, Casey Royer was in the movie Suburbia with Flea from the Red Hot Chili Peppers and other cool punk rock legends. DI is in Suburbia. I forgot about that. Yeah, Richard Hung Himself. What a great classic song that Casey Royer wrote. He also sang on my Bloody Mess Rock Circus Mountain Rock album. He sang backup vocals on a song called Everyone's on Drugs, which is a music video. You can find that online. Bloody Mess Rock Circus, Everyone's on Drugs, music video. Casey Royer did backing vocals on that, and he also did backing vocals on the song called Kali Yuga, along with Rick Agnew from Christian Death and the Adolescents. Yeah, and also some other really legendary people. Do you like Cody Parks and the Dirty South? I've never heard the name. Sorry, no offense. Radolescents with Rick on guitar and vocals. Yeah, I got to open up for the Radolescents a couple times. We actually did a mini tour with them in 2018. Thoughts on Motley Crue? I saw them a couple times tripping on acid, and they were good sleazy rock and roll for the first 2 albums. After that, no thanks. I love their first album, and it's one of my very favorite rock and roll records. Yep. Too Fast for Love, awesome. Shout Out the Devil's good, but it was leaning towards, whatever, but I loved it. So the first 2 records, huge fan. I saw those guys play in the early 2000s and had to walk out of the show. All 4 people that I took a limousine there with to see this show we all wanted to leave after like 5, 6 songs. It was horrible. The vocals were horrible. Nicky couldn't play his bass. It was just bad, man. No wonder they resort to using backing tapes these days. I hate to say that, but they do, man. It's been proven. I know people in this that work the system doing sound. I have absolute proof. I've heard it that they use backing tapes. Lots of bands do, unfortunately, though. Sucks, dude. I would never do that shit live. You love my spoken word stuff with Gigi? It was pretty bad. What happened to my Ace story? I don't know. I didn't take anything off, bro. I'm not editing anything as I do this. I'm just doing this live. I didn't see it. Maybe it just got lost. Did I ever see Bon Scott? No. I got the Highway to Hell album in 1979. My grandmother bought it for me at Kmart, and he died like, I don't know, a few months later or something, man, in 1979, I think, or he died in 80, one of the two. No, because Back in Black came out in 80. So yeah, he died in like early 79, right after I got the album or something. Yeah. I love Bon Scott, one of my favorite frontmen of all time. I love AC/DC, man. I love Brian Johnson too. Back in Black, one of the best party albums of all time, man. If I'm missing your comment, please send it over again if you want it to be read. I'm trying, guys. Thanks for being here. Please subscribe to my channel if you haven't. Well, obviously you probably have, and I appreciate you guys a lot, big time. Please share some videos of mine to help me, because you got to help an old rocker make a few bucks, guys. Another one. Yes, I did meet Lemmy at the House of Blues in Chicago once. You smoked white stuff with Casey a few times. Ask him about, it went by too quick. Casey's sober these days. I don't even think he smokes weed. Johnny Thunders. No, I didn't see Johnny Thunders live, but I got a book that he autographed that I traded something really cool for. And it's the Johnny Thunders book that chick wrote from England or whatever, you know, book I'm talking about, his biography. And he signed the inside front cover and the inside back cover. And it's really cool. And unfortunately, I have it on eBay for sale. Sucks, man. Hard times. Thanks, man. Thanks for saying you love the stream. I appreciate it. I didn't want to be boring, but I figured if people kept sending me enough questions, I could just keep answering. Motley Crue. Yeah, that's cool. I don't think Girls, Girls, Girls was a bad album. It's just that it wasn't my kind of thing. That's all. But I would not turn down listening to it or whatever. I'm not uptight about rock and roll. I'm real open-minded, dude. I like all rock and roll. I'm really into it. People think I was a hair metal guy, though, and I never was. I was more of a punk rock guy with the long hair metal look. But I'm more punk rock. But I do love Hanoi Rocks, and I consider them to be punk and roll. Thoughts on Seattle bands? I like Seattle bands. I love Nirvana. I love Soundgarden. I love some Alice in Chains. Yeah. Love the Melvins. Walter Lear's band, though. Yeah, I like the Waldos. I like anything to do with the Dolls or connecting to the Heartbreakers. I love all those guys. I interviewed Arthur Killer Kane's wife, or ex-wife, on my Church of Rock channel. If you go to the Church of Rock, one word, that's my other channel. I interviewed Dee Dee Ramone's ex-wife, Vera, on there too. I interviewed a lot of people, like hundreds and hundreds of people on there. Yep, I liked El Duce, and I interviewed him for my Fanatic fanzine back in 1994. And he sent I sent him a handwritten interview by mail, and he sent the answers back in the mail to me. Yep, and I almost started a band with Sicky Wifebeater from the Mentors, but he lived too far away. Yeah, that overproduced stuff bums me out too. I'm not into it. I like more raw rock and roll, sleazy stuff. I'm more of a Stooges, Dead Boys, New York Dolls kind of vibe guy. So in the Ramones and stuff. Yeah, I miss El Duce. A lot of people took him way too seriously, but he was a great guy to have around, man. I'm going to repack this bowl if you guys don't mind. 36 of us left hanging out on a Saturday night. I can't think of anything else better to do tonight. So why not hang on a Saturday night? I Hate God. I haven't heard much of their stuff, to be honest. Yes, I think Courtney was 100% behind it. What do I do for a living? I'm a hustler. I'm a DJ. I'm a legally ordained minister. I have an eBay store. I do a YouTube channel. I sell stuff. I sell t-shirts, vintage t-shirts. I sell my new album, my new CD. It's back there. Bloody Mess, Dark Days Unfazed. I'm a rocker. I'm just a real rocker. That's what I do for a living. And I'm broke. That That sucks. So if I want to be a smart ass, I guess I can turn it around and be like, yeah, but if you had a job, you'd have more money, wouldn't you? I was making really good money for a while working for some cannabis farms, but since the cartel stepped in and legalization came in, there was no use for trimmers like me. I was trimming, managing, harvesting cannabis legally for a living and making really, really good money for about a decade. Did I ever meet the Pistols? There's a story on this channel about me opening up for the Sex Pistols in Milwaukee on the reunion tour, man. So if you go to my videos and scroll down all my videos on my channel, there's a story about me opening for the Sex Pistols on their reunion tour. I did not get to meet the guys. They just only people that could meet them were women. True story. Same with Motorhead. House of Blues, Chicago. My wife was invited backstage with a chick that was an ex-stripper, and she was a person I hired to be a prop on our stage. She was whipping me during a stage show. We used to have a theatrical production in the Veins, and I had a girl named Aida that was a dancer. Rest in peace, Aida. And she was an ex-stripper and kind of a model chick. She's really cool. And she was backstage at Motorhead House of Blues and asked my wife, Tracy, to come back, but I couldn't because Lemmy had a rule: no dudes backstage. Before I was a radio DJ, I was a car detailer. I have been a roofer. I have worked in restaurants. I've done everything. I've done phone sales. I was making almost six figures a year off making phone sales. I was good at it, really good at it. Hungover and stoned. I love Johnny Lydon. I was supposed to meet him in September, and my youngest daughter, Audrey, got me tickets to see Johnny Lydon and meet and greet. I was so stoked, and then he canceled it, man, so I'm not going now. It sucks. Impetigo. I sang on their first album. Thanks for asking. Danielle, thank you. I sang on the Impetigo Ultimo Mondo Cannibali. I did backing vocals on, I think, Bloody Pit of Horror, and I also sang on another song. I can't remember the name of it because I can't remember it. But I did a spoken word part on it. It's pretty intense. I love Impetigo. I recorded that, and they also, Steve-O from Impetigo sings backups on my first album that came out in 1990 on vinyl, CD, and cassette. It's called Sixth Grade Field Trip, Bloody Mess in the Scabs. And basically, he does backup vocals on 2 or 3 songs on there, and he's killer on there. That stuff's on YouTube. What do I think happens after death? I believe in reincarnation. I think there's a period of rest, if we choose, in between this life form and the next, and I believe we inhabit another body. But I also believe we live the same life over and over thousands of times. But that's just my belief, and that goes against a lot of the normal grain, so take that with a grain of salt. Ronald Cole. Nope. Who's that? 6th Grade Blues. Thanks for being here, guys. I know we're dropping down in numbers. That's okay. I don't expect you to stay all night. It's 34. If I had 34 people sitting here right now, that'd be a pretty big party in my house. You met Lemmy backstage and got his autograph? Nice. You stole one of his Becks? Ha 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 ha. Thief. You little thief, you. Happy Saturday. Blazing up. Cheers. So, you know a lot of the same people. Okay, who? I love Ronnie Van Zant. I love Leonard Skinner, man. I was a fan in the first wave back before they died. I like rock and roll. I'm a real rocker, and I grew up with that stuff, man. Since I was 5 years old, I've been collecting records. What was Gigi like when he was the most normal? He was real normal, just like I am now, man. When we drank together, I always ended up in jail before he did. I'd get kicked out of clubs before he did. Gigi and I would sometimes hang out and not even tell people he was in town, and just sit around in my apartment and watch videos, and he'd drink, and I'd smoke weed, or I'd drink with him. He would get shit-faced, but he was normal, man. I mean, I hate to say it. But he was always still Gigi. Like, he would smell. He wouldn't bathe. He was living in the life that he preached, but you have to understand he wasn't just a psycho. His father was mentally ill, which is well documented, and he chose to be the way he was too. It's a combination of those two things, and him living what he created and the mental illness setting into is what I believe. And Gigi Allen, to let you guys know, when I hung out with him, he was not a druggie. We hung out for years. From 93, I met the guy, or I'm sorry, 83, I met him. And then the last time I saw him was like, what, 91, 90, 91. And we never, ever did drugs together. We toured together a few times. He came to my town a few times. We hung out. I think we did muscle relaxers once, but I never saw Gigi Allen do drugs. He was not a junkie. Neither was I. Later in life, I got addicted to drugs, but Gigi was not a druggie. He became the sort of guy that would do whatever was around here and there, but he was not a junkie per se. Guarantee you. Sorry, I'm missing a lot of this stuff here because I'm talking, so I'm missing a lot of what you guys are texting. So I'm sorry, I don't mean to disrespect anybody. Somebody's being mean. Anti-X, please show respect. Sorry, I'm not seeing anything disrespectful, but if I did, it's not cool, whatever. Smoking a joint while you're puffing hard. Jade Dragon. Oh, Jade's over in Grants Pass, Oregon. What's up, Jade? Nice to have you here, my friend. Love you, man. Yeah, hopefully no one's being a dick. I mean, do I believe in ghosts? I believe there's residual energy that people can leave behind from unresolved emotions like anger and fear and being trapped in a certain whatever. It's not like an actual, yeah, I believe it. I've seen stuff myself, man. I've seen it. My house is haunted. Believe it or not, me and my wife both, we were holding back. We moved in here a year and a half ago. One day I said, man, I got to tell you something. The lights are coming on. I'm hearing people walk down the hall, this and that. She goes, oh my God, I've been seeing the same and hearing the same things for 2 months. I thought I was losing my mind. I didn't want to say anything. And then I asked my landlord, was there only one owner here? He goes, yeah. I go, did that owner die here? Yeah. I go, okay. That's all I need to hear. And that's all I'm going to say on that subject. But dude, I could tell you some stories about other stuff. So uncool, he's saying. What's going on, man? Yeah, Gigi was very intelligent. Someone's saying you're freaking me out. I don't know what's going on. Maybe I'm missing something. Sorry, guys. I'm looking at the camera while I'm talking, trying to focus on one thing at a time, and I hope no one's being a dick or anything. Why do you live in the Midwest? I don't. I live in Oregon. I live in 15 miles above the Northern California border on the West Coast in the Siskiyou Mountains. I was from Peoria, Illinois, but I've been out here 13 years. Yeah, I don't live in the Midwest. I have not met Seth. No, I didn't, but I've seen a bunch of documentaries about him recently and did a little rabbit hole dive on the guy. He was intense, man. Yeah, I was in Peoria, Illinois most of my life, 2.5 hours south of Chicago. Which movie genuinely scares me? Jaws and The Exorcist. When I was a kid, those terrified me, man. Right? Anyone that's my age will probably testify those were scary freaking movies, dude. You know what other movie I like is Phantasm. I love the original Phantasm, and I got to meet Angus Scrimm, the star of that show in New York City once, man. Best punk documentary. Oh my gosh. I like Decline of the Western Civilization Part 1. And I like the one that the Sex Pistols is in, that one about their tour. If I could leave the USA, I'd probably go to like Paraguay or some weird little country. I don't know. I'd like to go to Scotland, but there's just too much lack of freedom there. I love sleazy horror Italian movies. I love anything sleazy. Eugene. Yeah, I got to smoke, man. So I didn't intend to stay more than an hour tonight. Should we keep it going? Haunted house. My grandmother, when at her old house, she used to see a little girl walk around in her kitchen and out in the backyard every day at like 6 a.m. holding her head. And I used to think that was a bunch of crap. And then we did research on my grandmother's house after she died. And we found out a little girl did live there with her family and was actually beheaded on the property. True stuff, man. I also met Ed and Lorraine Warren, too. Remember them guys? The ghost people, the paranormal experts. So controversial. Ed and Lorraine Warren, I think their name was it Boulder, Colorado or Greeley, Colorado in 87 when I lived there. I went and saw them talk, and then I hung out and talked to them afterwards for a bit. That was a trip. Clockwork in Orange County. That sounds like a good, okay. I like the movie Clockwork Orange a lot, man. Big fan of that. Yep, up all night. Dylan Smut. This is not Dylan Smut from New Zealand, right? YouTubers that I like, Bald and Bankrupt, Tyler Oliveira, Drew Binsky. You asked. Amityville Horror. Oh, yeah. Definitely, dude. That's a scary one, man. Ed and Lorraine were paranormal legends. Yep, I met them. I got all these stories, man. That's why I started this channel. You know, I think I figure, why write a book when I could just tell YouTube videos? I reach more people instantly. DOA, Dead on Arrival. Yeah, DOA. That was a great one, Jade. I love that, man. I love it was all dirty looking and just, I love the pistols. And then I got to meet Helen Killer. When you see Sid Vicious in the Dallas, Texas segment where his nose is gushing blood, my good friend Helen Killer accidentally elbowed him outside of that shot. That's how he got that way. She was also his lover on the side and it was his roommate. And she's sang vocals on one of my albums, Helen Killer. Look her up on the internet. She's a legend. She was a legend in the early New York, LA, and London punk scenes. Literally was there and hanging out with Sid, and it was crazy the story she's got. Helen Killer, awesome person, man. I love her. I did yoga with her in Maui. She sang vocals with me on my album in LA. She's awesome. Used to be married to the legendary Paul Roessler, who has produced my last few albums and played keyboards. He was in the Screamers and 45 Grave. Legendary man. Did I ever meet Courtney? No, thank God, man. She's a total sociopath. Ever read her mom's book? Courtney Loves Mother's book. That girl grew up hurting animals and was just a sociopath from being a young baby, unfortunately. Sad stuff, man. That girl's nuts. I better watch what I say. I want to remain alive. Oh, Nick, thank you, man. I appreciate that someone likes my stuff. I'm trying to fix this I'm trying not to say too many cuss words because this politically correct world is bizarre, dude. I love Helen too. Yeah, I recorded her. Helen Killer I was interviewed on my radio show too. You can find it on my other YouTube channel, my interviews with Helen Killer. Can you post a Bloody Mess link on YouTube? Yeah, I can, but it'd be easy right now. Why don't you go to YouTube if you want to see one of my brand new video? It's so cool. It's state of the art. It shows me turning into a cartoon. It's a trip. All you got to do is go to YouTube and type in Bloody Mess, This Creepy Little Town. It's brand new, released like a month or two ago with Dave Moe too. It's Bloody Mess with Dave Moe, M-O-E, Dave Moe. I'm telling you, it's my coolest video next to Skeletons, which Nick Zed produced. If you go to YouTube and type in Divine Dirt, Skeletons, Nick Zed produced that one for me in 2018, and that's like a miniature horror movie. You guys, you got to check that video out. Okay, I'm going to beg you, write this down. This was a band I had before, in 2018 for like 5 years. Divine Dirt. It's incredible. There's a song called Skeletons, and we made a music video. And Nick Zed, the late film producer, he is a legend. He died recently. I was a friend of his. Rest in peace to my brother. And I love him. And I'm his friend, friends with his wife. And when he actually died, I was one of his last friends in America that he was actually talking to regularly, or right before he died. And we were doing a GoFundMe to help him out. Long story short, I miss him. And he did my Skeletons music video, and it's one of the creepiest freaking videos I've ever seen. Divine Dirt, Skeletons. I dare you to go watch that, and go to watch my new one, Bloody Mess, This Creepy Little Town. That was produced by Michael Garrett. Please, guys, watch those videos for me. Bobby Steele. Yes, I interviewed Bobby Steele on my Church of Rock radio show from the Misfits. Yep, great interview. He got kind of pissy with me. You got to hear that interview by going to my other YouTube channel. It's called The Church of Rock, all one word. Lydia Lunch, I love her. I just got this cool Lydia Lunch candle from her recent tour. My daughter Audrey got this for me, and it's awesome. I love Lydia Lunch. Love her, love her, love her. I tried to get her on my Church of Rock radio show, and she said, ain't happening. She was like, nope. She shut me down quick. I don't have Twitter, but I'm on Instagram under bloodyf.mess on Instagram. I'm very active on there. And on Facebook under the name Derek Moody, a.k.a. Bloody Mess underneath that. But it's Derek Moody, and I've only got room for about another 100 friends on Facebook, though. Courtney Love scares me, too. Clint Ruin, Scraping Fetus, the first one of the first industrial bands besides Test Department. I love that old industrial stuff when it was real and they were using like scrap metal, and I love that guy Scraping Fetus from the Wheel. Yep, I'm a big fan of Clint Ruin. I love the Swans, Michael Gira. I love all that stuff, man. I actually have a story for my channel about Al from the Swans at a theater called Theater of the Vampire in Chicago. It was a private club. You had to be invited, and the place got set on fire when I was there. It was intense. Okay, we're down to 30 people. Let's see if we can keep this going for, I don't know, man. I'm here. I don't really care. I'll sit here until you guys say later. I'm kidding, man. I got to stop at some point. What do you think of the band from Peoria called, oh, sorry, I can't see that now. Can I click on that and see that? Nope. I'm sorry, I'm missing some of your guys' questions. Please just resend them. Copy and paste it and send it again. Sorry about that. Keith Morris, he's a pain in my ass. I interviewed him twice on my radio show. First time was wonderful. Second time, he was a complete dick. I don't know why, but he wouldn't stop going off course and was talking about stuff that was completely irrelevant and just being obnoxious. And I'm like, dude, really? And he was a dick. And I said, finally, I ended the interview. Then I get on Facebook and I was telling somebody like a month or a few months later, they were talking about Keith Morris. I said, yeah, he was on my radio show twice. He jumps on and says, yeah, twice too many. So, the ego in me says, screw him, whatever. I'm not a fan of his attitude. I like the Circle Jerks music, but he's the only guy that ever gave me such a hard time on the radio on purpose. It's like, dude, you're in a bad mood. That's your problem, bro. Why come on a radio show that's national and be a dick to me? I didn't do anything. Nope, I don't play any instruments at all. I'm just a writer, singer, performer, manager, promoter, radio show producer, actor, spoken word poet. The Veins. I was in the band The Veins. That was my band. If you're asking what I think about The Veins, that was my band, Bloody in the Veins. We did one album in 1999 on Black and Blue Records. Arguably one of my best albums ever. Who doesn't like you? Who are you saying doesn't like you, bro? I like everybody here. Here's another message I've got to tap on to read the damn thing. Can you post the interview? Which interview? Anti-Xenophile. Who are you saying doesn't like you? I like you. Another one I got to tap to view the message. That means you're cussing, which I could care less. Keith has a sand in his badge. I don't even care, dude. People ask me, I'm just human. I've got my feelings and opinions and whatever. I'm not trying to start, trouble. I'm not, nothing against the, show the, another moderator just handled this. Wow. It says here on my screen that another moderator already took care of this cuss word, because what they do is they send you a little thing here on your screen if somebody cusses or says something questionable, and you have to look at it before you allow it to come on the screen, right? And I just said, okay. And it said another moderator has already handled this. That's kind of creepy, man. I hope no one's got control of my YouTube channel. That would suck. In this day and age, man, dude, it's like Hacker City. I don't know what that means, man. That freaks me out. Did I just press the wrong thing, maybe? Because it said now this comment is under review. Great. Yeah, thanks for being here, Nick. Thanks, Jade. It is a cool candle. I don't want to burn it. Mike Wilder. I'm going to hit this little arrow. Sorry, I'm trying to read these guys. Yeah, that was me on the psychedelic 7-inch, The Veins. I put that out on my Fanatic Records label, 1997 or 8. Yep, I sang for The Veins. We did These Boots Are Made for Walking and Stuck in Monunk on that record. That's funny that you didn't know I was in The Veins, dude. Yeah, that was my band for 5 years. We opened for Nazareth and Enough's Enough and played gigs in like 10, 12 states. Xenu is everything. Scientologists will rule the universe. Haha. Surely you're joking because they're actually losing numbers by the day, but I could care less. You have to be joking about Scientology, right? Tell me. Come on, bro. Divine Dirt me reminds me a little of Alice Cooper. That's cool. That's a compliment, man. I've had people say that. Alice was a direct influence on me for sure, but it wasn't unintentional. There's a song called Creepy Kula on my 2006 Bloody and the Transfusions album. And if you scramble the letters Creepy Kula, they spell Alice Cooper. It's a tribute I did to Alice Cooper, actually. It's on YouTube. Bloody and the Transfusions, Creepy with an I, Creepy, Creepy with an I, and then Kula, Coola. You find that on YouTube, and it's a song about Alice, and I used every line of that song is either an Alice Cooper song title or an album title or in reference to something Alice related. It's kind of crafty. I hope you'll check it out. Bloody and the Transfusions, Creepy Kula. The Alice Cooper fans always love it when they hear that one. Anti-X Xenu is the bad guy in Scientology. Okay, well, that's wacky. Weird. Yeah, whatever, man. I don't even know what to say about that. L. Ron Hubbard, man. Any current TV shows? I don't watch TV at all, bro. I haven't had a TV since 2010. Frank Zappa, I don't know. Probably Beefheart. Beefheart for me. I like Zappa too, though. Andreas doesn't like you. And yes, if you're into Scientology, you know what, man? I'm into Hinduism and Buddhism and like mystical Christianity, and I'm into like Zainism, and I'm into the Jains, and there's a lot of things I'm into, man, that I could go on and on and on and on. But that just means I take the nuggets and the best things of each one of those things, the truths, the wisdoms, the things that look and feel right to me, things that I've researched and I know in my heart are real, and I take those and apply those to my life, man. So I don't get addicted or attached to anything with ist or ism at the end, and I try not to become one thing or the other, and I do not let any religion that's organized dictate me, and I don't have even an unorganized religion. And no, I'm not a Hindu, and I'm not a Buddhist, none of those things. I'm just saying, guys, freedom, do what you want to do. I'm into, like, totally into freedom. That's it, man. I don't judge others. I don't divide. Don't take sides. I don't believe there is a side. I don't do politics. I don't talk about religion. I'll talk about philosophy with you all day long. Psychology. I'll talk about history, but I won't talk about things that divide others because it's just a big game. This kind of thing here, it actually is bringing people together, man. You know what I'm saying? Look at there's 30 people sitting here right now. And none of us have said a word about politics. And if you have, I've ignored it. Of course, bro. Thank you, Ricky, man. It's just cool to have someone to hang out with for a little while on a Saturday night. And I've been wanting to go live for a while. And I thought, let's do this and get to know each other. My best tattoo is my mom tattoo right here. Mom. It's my very best tattoo right there. And then I've got this here. It's Neptune, Roman god of the sea, because I'm a Pisces. That's Pisces sign. And then I've got born a rocker, die a rocker. And then on the back of my back, I've got brothers born to lose on my back shoulder, but I had it transformed into brothers born to love. And then on this one over here, I've got bloody, real big letters on the back that says bloody. Mr. Floyd's in the house from Portland. What's up, Sean? The cousin of the late singer for the Dicks and Sister Double Happiness and the Buddha Brothers, and my brother, I love him and I miss him, Gary Floyd. Sean Floyd, what's up, man? Nice. Thanks, Jade. Where's everybody watching from? Long Beach, California in the house. Good question. Everyone tell us where you're from, please. I'm in Ashland, Oregon. Formal education, I went to the first month of the third year of high school, and then I got kicked out of the entire system. East LA in the house, Kentucky in the house, Tokyo, Japan. Welcome, Tokyo. Atlanta, Georgia, Tulsa, Oklahoma, Florida, Joliet, Illinois. Keep them coming, guys. Where you watching from? I love Beefheart and his magic band. Me too. Good stuff. Eccentric goodies. Riverside, California. I'm just up the road, man. I'm up here just right up over the North California border. You're 4 hours away, I think. New York, Los Angeles in the house. What's up, Mark? What's up, Dylan? Kelly in the house. Andreas from Sweden. Yeah, British Columbia in the house. Boston area. Hey, Boston. Alex, how was it meeting the legendary Pat McGlynn? I managed him for 2 years and I stayed at his house for 2 weeks. I don't really want to talk bad. I don't say that I like his music a lot, but Pat and I parted ways, bro. Um, it was very surreal because as a kid, he was like one of my heroes. I've been a fan since '75 of that band. I love the Bay City Rollers. Memphis, Tennessee, Pittsburgh, Joliet, the Blues Brothers. Love the Blues Brothers and John Belushi, man. You guys, thanks for being here. South Carolina. This is a crazy, diverse crowd, you guys. 38, it's growing. I've been on for freaking an hour and 34 minutes. I guess, hey, it's fun, right? I'm having fun. You're not trolling. You're just chilling. Yeah, you're just chatting with my friend. I am your friend. You can be a Scientologist. I don't care what you are, bro. Or person, or dude, or dudette. Sorry, I don't mean to say bro so often. Yeah, I think, that's weird, man. Why did it say another moderator is already taking care of something? I'm freaking out about that. I feel like my channel's been hijacked. I hope not. What a bummer if so. Right now, what time is it here? I don't even know, man. I don't even know what time it is here. I can't see my clock. Can I scroll down and look at my clock? It's 11:05. It's 11:05 p.m. my time. That's Pacific time. Scientologist bad. Well, I don't know. That freaks me out, dude. Maybe it's just because I pressed something wrong the first time. I hope. 2:05 there, 11:06. Yeah, I'm just chilling, man. I'm probably gonna stay on here for another 5 or 10 minutes, and I'm gonna do another live chat soon. But I better not agree to any particular time. But we're actually getting more people right now than I had earlier. So what's the point of leaving? Why do I look so young? I'm 58 years old, man. I don't know. I don't know. Thank you, though. I guess that's a nice compliment. I guess because I feel young. You make me feel so young. You make me feel so young. There's a lot of love going on here. Yeah, born a rocker, die a rocker. You bet, man. You look it or live it, or you can do both. Some people dress up funny on weekends. Some people just throw on the eyeliner or the leather jacket or their freaking tattoos or their jewelry or their boots or their cool pants or their shirt or their scarf or their headset or their hats or their freaking glasses or their boots or their rings. I hate when people say, why do you wear eyeliner? Why do you wear the socks you're wearing? That is the most absurd, non-conscious kind of question I could ever field. I love Vinnie Vincent. Yeah, I think he's eccentric as all get out, but I love the stuff he's done. Yeah, he's a rocker, man. He's eccentric, very eccentric. I love the stuff did with Kiss, though, a lot. Creatures of the Night album rules, man. I saw Vinnie Vincent. There's a story on my channel about me tripping at Kiss concert with the Plasmatics and Vinnie Vincent on guitar. It's on this video channel. Do I have any health issues? I have emotional issues sometimes. I have ADHD sort of stuff, and I have a sleeping disorder in which I have to take a sleep prescribed medication. But other than that, no, man. I've conquered 30 years of alcohol addiction, 12 or 22 years of nicotine addiction, and decade of opiate addiction. And I only went to rehab 4 days in my life, and it was a strong battle. But I just smoke the wacky tobacco these days. I think it's what's kept me young, man. It's preserved my body. That and Twinkies. I'm just kidding. Floyd, your internet is dying. Girl power. I do wear nail polish. I wear well. This is coming off now. It's been on for like a week, but I do different colors, different nails, different patterns. One day I just did both my middle fingers. Why did I do that? Because I could. You're a houseplant transgender. My second concert was Kiss at the Forum. Well, cool. I support anyone that wants to be themselves. Thanks for your time. Good night, Steve Reese. Thank you and sweet dreams, man. Still partying at 1:06 in the morning in Illinois. Wee-hoo! How woke are you? You know, that's a trick question. You know that. Bikini Kill. My daughter Audrey just met Kathleen Hanna like recently up in Portlandia, where she lives, where my daughter lives. You know what? I'm going to put this up. I think I probably look stupid looking down. I'm experimenting tonight. I decided to do this, you guys, as something to do on a Saturday night. It's a lot of fun. I've never done a live chat. Thank you guys so much for coming, for hanging out with me, asking questions, and just hanging out. It's something to do, right? I know that sounds boring, but this was just a night to get to know others. For me to get to know you, you get to know me, and that's a free-for-all. That's it. Just a lighthearted, what's happened, and let's hang out together on a Saturday night kind of thing. Any podcast I like. Yeah, I like a lot of weird ones like Bald and Bankrupt, Tyler Oliveira, Drew Binsky. I like a lot of them, man. I'm not going to go into any of the political ones I seem to like once in a while because I don't really, but I like a lot of travel ones. I like the music ones, you know. But will it play in Peoria? Yes, it will. Well, I'll be playing close to Peoria in March the 14th. I'll be in Davenport, Iowa at the Raccoon Motel with Super 88 backing me up. And I'm going to be in Chicago, Illinois on March 15th at Livewire, playing live. Yeah. So these are going to be 2 gigs that I'm going to be performing, which I don't do often anymore. I do have a new album out called Dark Days Unfazed, available on vinyl, CD, and on live streaming. Bloody F Mess, Dark Days. Hit me up if you want a copy, please. Have I ever had a pro wrestler on my show? No. Chris Jericho was supposed to be on the show, but something happened and it didn't happen. But it was all set up for Chris Jericho to be on my show once, and it never happened in 2009. Uncle Cankle, I have not heard of that. Sorry, man. Mark says he's gonna order indica next time and join me. That's cool. Sounds good to me, man. It's like having a little session. It's our little cyber smoke session. Which album is supreme, bro? I love the band X. I'm friends with the DJ Bonebreak, the drummer. He's been on my radio show like 5 times, and John Doe has been on the show as well. And I got to meet the band a couple times. I love X a lot. Huge fan of X. I'm waiting for Floyd to tell me which album he's saying that was supreme. I'm missing some of this. Tenacious D fan. I was supposed to interview Jack Black on my radio show, and I got there late. But I did get to go on Zach Wilde's bus on the same night and interview him, though, that same night. But I missed Jack Black. I was supposed to interview Tenacious D. Damn it. I've been in radio almost 25 years. I still do a radio show every Sunday night, live on FM radio and the internet. Weed does keep me young. I smoke a lot. I've been smoking every day since 1979, since I was like 14 or something, man. Dark Days. Oh, thanks. You like Dark Days? Thank you, man. It's my 40th anniversary album. I've got a copy right here to show you guys. This is the CD version right here. Okay. Sister Tracy took the photo, and the great Sam Dantone did the artwork. And on the back cover, you can see the cool black cat and the song titles. And then there's the vinyl version, which came out way better. And we edited the back cover because I made a mistake, guys. On the CD, I should have put the name of the artist that I collaborated with, but I didn't. But it's on the inside of the CD, the information. But this is an album of all collaborations. Yeah, it's got songs with people that I consider heroes, like members of the Plasmatics, the Germs. Jordan Longmire is a good friend of mine from Scotland. His dad started the Bay City Rollers. He's on here with me. Lydia Paeski, the great Bill Meisner from Bloody Mess and the Scabs, Sister Tracy from the radio, Sammy Town from Fang. It was awesome, man. When I did this album in LA in October, it turned into like something that I consider to be one of my best records. But the coolest thing is I got to collaborate with Dave Moe. Half the album is written by and played on by the great Dave Moe in Peoria, Illinois. Please check out our new music video. It's called Bloody Mess and Dave Moe, This Creepy Little Town. It's on YouTube right now, and it's one of my very favorite music videos. Please give it a like and a comment if you would, and you can join the other channel, The Church of Rock. It's one word, The Church of Rock. And it's been around for years and no one knows, man. It's a secret. And there's thousands of posts on there almost. And interviews that I've done with people like Wendy O. Williams and like just lots of legends. I'm not even going to go into it, man. Too many. Color vinyl, it's not, man. It's black vinyl. And I've only got about 20-ish something copies left if you're interested. It does have a really cool lyric sheet inside with great photos and all these lyrics and stuff too, man. Don Bowles is a trip. He's a trip. I've worked with him a couple times. He's on my 30th anniversary and my 40th anniversary album, and he's been on the radio show. You can find those interviews on my other channel. Don is very hyperactive, makes me look like a very mellow person. But he's very creative. He's a genius, and there's a story on this channel about me recording with him. If you go and find it under the video section, recording with members of the Ramones, etc. on there, and the Germs. Your phone is dying. Charles Lawson, thank you for joining me tonight, rocker. Peace out. Thank you, Floyd. Paul Rossler produced that album, and man, that dude, Paul, if you're watching, I'm sure he's not. He's too busy to be spending time watching, hanging out with me. He's making records 24/7, and he's a legend. He produced it, man. He did some magic. He's a wizard. A wizard. We recorded the vocals all in one day, except for Wax Fruit. I did separately. But we did all the vocals in an hour. Hey, Sister Tracy, do you want to pop on video? We're live.
Nah.
Come in for a minute. Sister Tracy's walking by. I can't resist. I've been on for an hour and a half, and we're doing great. Lots of people talking from all over the... See how it is? So this is Sister Tracy. She's the co-host and co-producer of the Church of Rock radio show, and the producer and co-producer of Latitude 42, which is on every other Friday on KSKQ Radio. Anything you want to say on a Saturday night?
Hey, and
You look at that green dot.
thanks for listening to the radio show, whichever one you listen to. We appreciate it.
You've got a new YouTube channel.
I do. Sister Tracy is the name of it right now, but I don't know if that will continue. But
So did you remove the Sister Tracy Church of Rock part?
no.
Okay, because
So you tell him about it. He
Well,
knows more than I do.
I posted on her behalf yesterday. She's got some stuff, guys, like the Dead Boys and like just crazy rock and roll and punk rock stuff that's never been released on video, live stuff, videos that she filmed herself. And I'm like, you got all this stuff on there. Even like my band, like the Radolescents with Casey Royer and Rick Agnew and Jatan Damone in LA live at a little club.
Yeah, there's a lot more to come too. I've just got to get busy and get off my ass and download them. So
Well, go to Sister Tracy, the Church of Rock Radio. But if you just type in Sister Tracy and like Radolescents, you'll find her channel. She only had like 20 subscribers last week, or as of last night. So let's change that to like 200, guys.
appreciate it.
Yeah.
Adios, guys.
Yeah, she's out of here. Listen, guys, I think I'm going to wrap it up. I'm going to read a couple more questions, though. Elvis Hitler. I love that band. I forgot about Elvis Hitler. Yeah, I did remember them. Mark says, hi, Sister Tracy. Andreas, the metal punk says, hey, Sister Tracy. She says, hey, right back. She's camera shy. She wasn't expecting me to drag her in here. She was kind of like, eh. She was like a deer in headlights. She's out of here.
Behind the camera.
She wants to be behind the camera, she says. That's no fun for us, though, right?
I got a face for radio.
Purple Jesus. Yeah, I got purple hair. I did. It's fading now. I'm going to dye it another color.
I've got a face for radio.
Tracy says she has a face for radio. Oh, bullshit. Stern or Mancow? Neither one. I used to love Stern when he first came out. He was like actually shocking and all that. Same with Mancow. People change. I'm not a fan that anymore, but I was a fan back then. That counts. I used to kind of know Mancow. I was on a radio station that he was syndicated on, and he would come to our events and stuff. We were in Peoria, just a couple hours south of Chicago. So yeah, small world. I did not find the Black Widow. I don't like to kill stuff, so I let it go. Isn't that crazy?
Don't talk about that 5 spider?
Tracy says she didn't want to hear about that spider. Nick, you rock. Nick Cave is your lover? Awesome. Hope he's a good lover. I love Nick Cave, but he's not my lover. The moon is in the gutter. I'll subscribe. Hi, Tracy. Don't let Bloody have all the fun. Girl Power. Thanks, Girl Power. Who are you, Girl Power? What's your first name? Eric. You know what? I'm not really a wrestling person. I'm not going to sit here and say I don't like it, because if you put it on long enough, I'm entertained. As a kid, though, you started it. As a kid, I used to go see the Crusher and Andre the Giant and all those great old wrestlers. My dad and my brother, we used to go to like these high school gymnasiums and watch the wrestlers. I loved Andre the Giant, and I remember seeing him like live. And there's a great documentary about that guy. But I love the Crusher. He's my favorite. Whack Packer. Who's the best Whack Packer? You mean, who's the Whack Pack? Oh, who are the Whack Pack? I don't know. I know the Rat Pack. I like Sinatra. I like Frank Sinatra music. I don't remember who did that cover. Maybe it was Robert Omelette. I think it was Robert Omelette that did that cover. God, my memory sucks. I think it was Robert Omelette. Now that you mentioned that, from Angel Trumpet Records in LA. He's dead now. Rest in peace, Robert Omelette. Somebody asked if I knew him earlier. I think he did the cover for that cassette tape of mine, Bloody Mess and Hate. Yeah, I think so. I can't remember. Husker Du. I never played with them, but I'm a fan. I like Husker Du, man. Great stuff, man. Double nickels on the Dinos and Minutemen. Amy Berigtold. Okay, gosh dang it, I knew it. My good friend Amy that I've known since like the 80s, she's under the name Girl Power, and I'm like, I know who this is, but I can't remember. You know how it is, Amy. That memory when you get older, man. I'm almost 60, man. It sucks, man. Just kidding. It's not that bad. I've been taking lion's mane every day and microdoses of psilocybin mushrooms. And I also take lots of other holistic stuff, including reishi and other mushrooms. And it's supposed to be really good to keep the brain rejuvenating and keep you from getting dementia. So that's kind of what I do. And I smoke a lot of weed. And that's, someone said, how do you stay young? Well, I try to smoke weed and I like a healthy diet of rock and roll and punk rock. It literally keeps you in that mindset enough to where you don't let yourself get old. You know what I'm saying? Because when you're listening to that stuff from your youth, you're getting older, you're getting younger with it, man. I don't know. I'm smoking too much now, right? Another planet, would you buy? On another planet, would you be my lover? Surely you're not talking to me. And I'll stop calling you Shirley. You're not going to find that tiger balm. How would I know? You're not going to find it, bro. Well, unless you're doing the dark web, then you might be, I guess. But don't support the killing of tigers, bro. But that stuff was awesome. If it was here right now, I won't lie, I would do it. I'd let you spray some on my neck. That's me being honest. But I definitely am a hypocrite because that's a tiger, dude. So yeah. Anyway, we all have to work on that stuff. Oh wow, I'm reconnecting. Ooh, I'm back. I'll look in Chinatown. Was that better not be racist? I'm kidding. Oh, because it's a Chinese product. Well, hey, if they sell illegal stuff in Chinatown, maybe you can. I don't know, man. I'm not endorsing that stuff. I'm just telling you that's what Glenn Danzig used to use. Yeah, somehow my I just lost connection, but I'm back now. So wow, almost 2 hours. I tell you what, guys, I'm gonna go to the 2-hour mark, and I want to say right now ahead of time, thank you for joining me tonight. It's been really fun. I'm going hoarse, though, from talking. Jesus, how am I going to do live shows in March, man? That's what I'm worried about. This is one of my things I obsess about. It's like, what am I going to do in March when I fly over to the Midwest to do these gigs? It's like, I don't know. Sister Tracy's actually leaving at like 1:30 in the morning to go to the store. We are weird people around here. We are rock star lifestyle kind of people, quote unquote. That just means we don't go to bed at fucking 9 o'clock and get up at 6 a.m. I just never have, man. I've always stayed up all night. I think that I'm just a night owl. And you are too. Or you're up early as hell. Girl power, there's Amy. Lions man, you cool. You have great advice about staying youthful. I agree. Music is medicine. Yeah, it is medicine, Amy. I think so. because I know people that got out of it. My friend, I won't name names. A friend of mine in LA was really, 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 her whole life was steeped in rock and roll and punk rock and music, music, music. And every time we got together all the way through our 40s, early 50s, mid 50s, we'd hang out. And she was a female, but one of my best friends, not a lover or anything like that. But we'd hang out a lot, and it was always music, music, music. We hung out in high school. She would pick me up at 3 a.m. We'd go to like Denny's, and we'd just laugh and talk about the Dickies and like, rock and roll bands and punk rock and John Lennon, and just, smoke cigarettes and drink coffee. Well, I didn't smoke cigarettes till I was 22. Back then I was really young, but I drank a lot of coffee. And my friend would pick me up, and we'd go to like Denny's, and we had the best of times. And then one day I called her up in like a few years back, and she said to me, and this broke my heart, man. She said to me, I'm just not into music anymore, man. I'm just done, I'm done living that way, the whole lifestyle and the dressing a certain way. And like I'm just over it. And just like, I'm not interested anymore, and I'm like, you're acting as if you were fake or something all these years. And you're acting like music doesn't validate a certain way of a mindset. I will guarantee that there's many musicians that will consider drinking from the fountain of youth being a musician, like guys like Willie Nelson, people that are like still doing punk rock, like Charlie Harper, 80 years old now from the UK Subs. I asked this question to a lot of these older rockers from like Lords of the New Church when I interviewed them, and like Sham 69. And they all say, yeah, being a musician is like drinking from the fountain of youth. You sort of get a pass. It's because it's all in the head. It's all in the head. It's what we bring to the table. Age has no determining factor. It's how do we treat our temples? How do we want to be? How do we want to give? Because it's all a boomerang. The laws of karma. It goes back and forth with in holistic medicines versus big pharma. Putting thought minus action equals 0 into actual practice and trying to live a conscious life. What am I saying? I'm smoking a lot of weed and I'm getting a little philosophical, so I'm done. Okay, Vans or Chucks? I'm definitely a Chuck Taylor guy, but I just got my first pair of Vans from one of my daughters for a gift for Christmas. It was awesome, and I like them. And they got skulls on them, man. What are your plans for tomorrow? I am hosting my radio show, The Church of Rock, and I'm also going to be doing another video, a live YouTube video, about the making of my song Michael Monroe. It's a dedication and a tribute to the ex-singer of Hanoi Rocks, and I'm going to put it on YouTube tomorrow. I'm going to do that YouTube video, which I was going to do tonight, but I thought, I'm going to do a live stream. It's Saturday night, and I don't want to watch TV or not TV, but like, put on like Netflix or live stream YouTube on my screen. I wanted to like talk to people. Have a good night, Eric. Have a good holiday, guys. Thanks for being here. I appreciate it so much. Big time. I don't know if I could handle listening to me talk. Good night, everyone. Kiss, kiss, bang, bang. Kiss this and hang. Specimen. I love Specimen. God. Love Specimen, man. I should be playing their entire discography on my radio show. All right, guys. Well, thanks for being here. Yeah, I'm going to log off in about 2.5 minutes or so. I'm going to get to 2 minutes. My OCD will not let me stop yet. I have to wait till exactly 2.5 minutes. The thing is, I'm looking and I'm not sure how to stop it. You're going to be held hostage here for the rest of your life. Am I still live? I think I am. Am I still live? 26 people left. Yeah, we got to go, right? It's getting late. Thank you for sticking around for 2 hours. But this is cool, man. I am still live. Okay, thanks, Christopher Valdez. I appreciate you guys being around, and thanks for subscribing to my channel. Lots more cool stories coming, and I enjoy doing it. It's fun. And keep yourself alive. I might still do a live video tonight. Michael Monroe story tonight about that song on my new album. OCD is killing me. That's one of my songs. Bloody Mess Rock Circus. OCD is killing me. Countdown. 59. Yep, we're live. 5. Okay, we've got 55 seconds and counting, guys, and I'm out. Like yesterday's news. Thanks for being here. I hope you sleep well tonight. I'm going to go drink a fifth of vodka. And I'm just joking. And I'm going to go, no, I'm just joking. What am I saying? Okay, I'm actually going to go make some food, guys. I'm hungry. Somebody said something about pizza earlier, so I'm going to go. I don't have a pizza. Maybe I'll make grilled cheese and tomato soup. That's the punk rock diet, man. That's what my exciting Saturday night's going to be. And I might make the making of the Michael Monroe song, because I want to do a tribute to Michael and get the Hanoi Rocks fans to check out my song, because I think it's worthy. Dave Moe's on all the instruments on that song. Oh no, I have 8 seconds left. Please look up Dark Days Unfazed, Bloody Mess on the internets. Goodbye, my friends. Rock and roll, man. I don't know how to leave. I don't know how to leave. Hi ho, the Dario. I'm stuck here like an idiot. How in the hell do I leave, guys? Somebody look it up somewhere. Somebody go to a YouTube channel and how does this idiot leave his live chat? This sucks. Okay, I'm stuck here now. Now you've got me in an embarrassing moment. This is kind of like being on the radio when this crap happens. You go like, how's he going to cover his tracks on this one? You know what I do? I run with it and I immediately say, hi, I've made a mistake. I just screwed up on live camera. And I'm going to stay right here until everyone leaves. And I'm going to stare at the screen. Because if everyone leaves, maybe it'll somehow log me out. It won't, man. I don't know how to get out of here. So I'm going to sit here, and when Sister Tracy comes back, I'm going to tell her what happened and say, yep, I just refused to say another word. And I told them I was going to stare at a screen, and that's what I'm doing. It's beginning to look a lot like I'm screwed. I can't leave the chat. This sucks, man. My neighbors probably hate me. My windows are open. Okay, I've got to get out of here, man. You guys are keeping me hostage. How do I do it? There's an X. Is that what I do? Are you sure you want to stop streaming? Yes. Good night, guys. Rock and roll. Much love.